Now, the thing I want to identify on the first listing page is anytime that you see an Amazon listing page like this, where one listing can actually take up the entire page's width, that means more than likely there's low competition for this niche. Let's get started today with the first product, and that is going to be our low competition product for this month. That is the quilted makeup bag. Over the past couple of months, and really throughout the entire year of 2023, we've seen an increased trend for makeup bags, at least here on Amazon. This could be an overall consumer trend for this year that makeup bags are becoming more and more popular, or it could just be that customers and consumers are turning towards Amazon and e-commerce in general to source these type of products versus going to retail stores. So for this month, this is the quilted makeup bag. It's a variation of these makeup bags that are very popular on Amazon. And from what I've noticed here on the first listing page, you can take a look at what they look like, but I've noticed it's very popular to have a floral pattern somewhere on the product. Now that could be something that we want to incorporate into this product, or it could also give us an option to differentiate ourselves from our competition by selling a quilted makeup bag that does not have a floral aspect to it. The last thing I want to mention is I recommend selling these as 1-unit sets. I would not sell the 2-unit sets as you see from this seller here. The only time when I would actually consider doing that is if I were to sell a smaller bag, such as what they're doing here, and then also a larger makeup bag, almost like 2 different products in one. What I would not do is sell this identical product, selling 2 makeup bags that are identical in size, shape, and design into one Amazon set, because the chances of a customer actually wanting to purchase 2 of the same products, 2 of the same makeup bags is very unlikely for this niche. All right, taking a look at the Jungle Scout data here, let's just cover 3 things that I like about it, and then a couple items for to be a little bit cautious about whenever we approach this type of product. The first one is the monthly search volume is almost at 22.5 thousand monthly searches. That's extremely high, suggesting high demand given this period of time. 30-day, 90-day search trends are great, and then the other thing I want to mention is the niche score is extremely high. Let's check down below here for the historical search volume over the past 365 days. What we've noticed is throughout 2022, really up until 2023, we saw this flat line of search volume and demand for this type of product. And then as soon as 2023 hit, we saw a significant yet gradual increase up until today, which right now we're looking at about 5,000 searches per week, which is phenomenal for this type of product. So this suggests a good upward trend. It's not perfect, and honestly, we typically see this with beauty and personal care products, as well as clothing, jewelry, and accessory type of products, because they go in with trends. Consumers change their mind on what they actually want in their clothing and their accessories. So it's totally normal to see this flat line throughout 2022 because people weren't interested in this product. And then we saw that shift in 2023 towards this type of product. So that brings me to my first thing to be cautious about with this type of product. Honestly, any product that is heavily influenced by fashion or design, be cautious with, because these trends can immediately go back down to what they previously were. And what I've noticed is, it's nearly impossible to predict when these trends are going to be happening and when consumers are going to be, just not interested in this type of design anymore. What I want to mention there is just, keep that in mind if you plan to sell this type of product or a similar product, that these trends can come back down. These react very positively in the short term, but in the long term, it's tough to say if this is going to be a product you could sell for years to come. Over to finding a product on Alibaba. When I was performing my search, I was looking for something that implemented the quilted pattern design, but also allowed me to take a step away from the floral pattern so I don't blend in with everybody, and to provide a unique design to that niche. What I came across are these fuzzy looking quilted makeup bags. So it influences the quilted pattern, as you can see here, but it also has this fuzzy texture on the outside. And then you can see what the inside looks like there. So I suggest doing something that allows you to differentiate your product that's unique to the market and to private label these. Now this supplier, they're verified, and their unit rate for 300 units is about $2.99, and I'm estimating about 40 to 50 cents for shipping per unit. That brings us to our revenue calculator. Let's see what 1 unit of that type of product could actually produce in this niche, and what a realistic profit margin would be. So I'd plan to list these at $19.99. Our fulfillment cost would be about a little bit less than $6. I think this is a little bit conservative because this is implementing the actual footprint of the makeup bag without it being compressed or vacuum sealed. So I would honestly imagine this would be high 3s to low 4s for the FBA cost, but I just want to be conservative here. Scroll down here, we have the cost of goods sold at $3.59. That's $2.99 for the unit rate, and I actually added 60 cents per unit for the shipping. That's all included in there. So at 200 sales, we'd be expecting about $1,500 in net profit, which would produce a net margin of close to 38%. Okay, so product number 2 this month, this will be our high demand product. So for this month, that is going to be the coffee station accessories. This is, when we think of a niche, we think of a very specific type of product that's solving a unique need. It's really refined, right? However, for this niche, this is somewhat broad. This gives us a lot of freedom to go ahead and to inspire our creativity into our product to solve a problem that would fit within this niche. So as long as our product can fit within this coffee station accessories niche, I think there's a good chance that there would be some success with this. So we'll scroll through here and we get an idea of what the top competitors are selling. We see a coffee mat, some spoons for tea and coffee, some dispensers for syrup, and then some K-cup holders. A wide range of different products here. Some decor. Okay. All right, so as you can see, there isn't one product that's dominating. There isn't one product that's more successful than the others. There's a wide range of products that we can choose from. So we'll take that mentality when we get to the supplier page. But first, let's go ahead and check the data out just so we can get a better idea of what's attractive about this niche and also what we should be cautious about. All right, looking at the data, the one thing that caught my eye is the average monthly units sold, well above 3,000. That suggests very high demand for the amount of units being sold on average for the top listing pages. The next thing, very high search volume, also a good indicator of demand. And then we have a nice niche score of an 8 out of 10. Now let's head down here to the average monthly units sold history for the past 24 months. And what I want you to take a look at is just the difference between 2022, near the end of 2022, and all throughout 2023 compared to 2021 and early 2022. So I'm referencing this range right here compared to, let's say, the latter half, the next 365 days from August 2022 to today's date in June. As you can see, much higher elevated numbers for the average monthly units sold and overall demand for this type of product. One other thing that catches my attention is the November and December of 2021. If you look at November and December of last year, we also saw, at least in December, an increase interest in this product. So even though we're seeing stable and elevated average monthly units sold for this niche, given this time frame for the past 6 or so months, this is also a great indicator that once we get to the end of the year and closer to the holiday season, we should really see a spike in demand for this product specifically. So that's all good stuff there, right? Now, the one thing I want to bring to your attention, just to be cautious about, is that this niche is broad, as I mentioned, right? It's coffee station accessories. Now, this is great because it gives us a lot of freedom to choose and to select a product, but it can also work to your disadvantage if that product you choose may fit in that category, but it may not be something that the customer actually wants. It may not be in demand. So it's a little bit of a gamble and a risk when you approach these broader niches and you try to sell a product within it. Just because you fit within that niche doesn't mean that's going to be successful or not. So just keep that in mind as you're sourcing a product and thinking about what the customer actually wants within this niche. Now in Alibaba, I decided to do something very different. This is a drip coffee station, something I honestly did not see within this niche. I'm sure that these are on Amazon if you type in drip coffee makers or drip coffee accessories, but within that niche, I think that this would be a good fit. I know from, at least when I worked in corporate America, there was always 1 or 2 people who did the drip coffee or the French press. So I think this would be a good accessory for the corporate America culture, and it would also be good just for residential homes to actually have a station where you could do your drip coffee. And let's see if they have an image here, and you wouldn't have to worry about all the complexities of getting everything out and creating your own little setup. And the one thing is that this price is pretty high, right? We're at $14.09 for the unit rate and probably $1 to $3, I'd say, per unit for shipping. So this is already approaching close to $20. So we would have to sell this, I'd say, in the upper 40s to remain profitable and to meet our desired range. Which brings us to the fulfillment calculator, revenue calculator here. I decided to list these just shy of $50. That is on the steeper end. I wouldn't expect, if you made the first listing page to have over thousands and thousands of sales, but at least keep in mind with a good profit margin, you would have a decent amount of profit per unit that you would sell. So the Amazon fees, $7.50, fulfillment cost around $6.10. This product is somewhat bulky since you cannot compress it or vacuum seal it, so we would be expected to pay a little bit more in fulfillment cost. Cost of goods sold, $17.80. As I mentioned, pretty close to $3 for shipping per unit, so that's factored into there. Net profit, here's the good news. If you were able to sell 200 of these in your first month, that'd be close to $3,700 in net profit, which would yield a net margin of close to 37%. Okay, on to our last product, and this is the innovative product for the month. This is the keychain charger. Now this product I'm always a little bit indifferent about because I like to stay away from electronics because they lead to a lot of returns and defects from some suppliers on Alibaba. But at the same time, it's hard to pass up a good opportunity like this. So let's check it out. Now, the thing I want to identify on the first listing page is anytime that you see an Amazon listing page like this, where one listing can actually take up the entire page's width, that means there aren't a whole lot of Amazon listings in this niche, in this search term, to actually pop up. So what does that mean for us as sellers? That means more than likely there's low competition for this niche. And that is confirmed as we scroll down. We're seeing on the first listing page, some with terrible reviews, with very limited reviews, still popping up here. Now we have some more here. Now there are more popping up here with close to 1,000, couple thousand reviews. So that's just something to keep in mind, that there are some established sellers already in this market, but the amount is pretty slim. Now before we check out the data, I just want to mention that this is another one of those general niches, right? It's a keychain charger. This could be a charger for an iPhone. It could be a charger for something that is USB-C compatible, like a Samsung device, or it could even be a watch charger for an Apple Watch. That is what you want to think about. Take a look at the niche itself. What is it missing? And also, what are consumers interested in charging within this niche? All right, 3 things that I really like. Monthly search volume, 11,500, suggesting high demand. A great 90-day search trend of 350%. Always be a little bit hesitant whenever the 90-day is much higher than the 30-day. What that suggests is that, over the past 3 months, we've seen a dramatic increase in search trend. But over the past month, things have started to settle down and we're not seeing as much of an interest. It's just something to keep in mind. But, if they're both positive, you're definitely in good company. The last thing is just the search volume trend down here over the past 6 months. We saw this large rise in increase in demand over between March and April, and then things have kind of settled on a nice trend up until today. My only elements of caution here would be around the product quality itself. You have to find a verified supplier, a verified pro supplier for this type of product, just to ensure that you have a product that is made of quality. And then also just keep in mind compatibility. What type of product do you want to sell? What type of audience do you want to sell to? So for this example, I decided to go the route of an Apple Watch charger, for your keychain. This is something that I haven't seen Apple create a product for. This is something that I think there's a lot of interest around if you look at just Google Trends itself and Apple Watches, how customers are attracting and flocking to that device. And then lastly, I looked at the competition on the first 2 listing pages. I noticed that 1 or 2 sellers were selling this type of device, but many of them were just selling the iPhone and Samsung chargers, which it'd be hard to differentiate yourself if you were to join them. So we're looking at about $2.90 for the unit rate, and I expect 10 to 20 cents per unit for shipping. Not a whole lot since given its size. The last thing I want to mention here is just the right-hand side, this badge. This may be a new badge you're seeing because it's not too common that a supplier has a verified pro supplier badge on their page. This supplier went through some very rigorous third-party inspection and also met some very difficult metrics to meet, such as on-time delivery rate, store rating, and also their volume of sales that they're able to generate each month. So that's something Alibaba takes into consideration. And it's very important that for an electronic, you work with a verified supplier or a verified pro supplier just to give you that assurance that this supplier is credible and they're making products of quality. All right, so let's wrap it up here with the revenue calculator. What can this little keychain charger produce? So if we were to sell 1 unit at $14.99 with a very low fulfillment cost, this is one of the cheapest fulfillment costs that you can have given its size, and our cost of goods sold at $3.30, we're looking at about a profit of $1,200 for 200 units within your first month, which would produce a net margin of about 41%. As always, thanks for checking out the latest products to sell on Amazon, and make sure you subscribe so you can check out next month's content and be the first one to know what the top 3 products will be.